Welcome to the deep dive. We take interesting sources, dig into them, and hopefully give you the key takeaways, maybe a few surprising facts, and keep it engaging.
Exactly. Shortcut to being well-informed.
That's the idea. So today we're looking at a whole collection of, well, weird stuff. First-hand accounts, observations from all over, things that just don't have easy explanations.
Yeah, we did quite a mix. Videos, photos sent in by people, some news clips too.
Mhm.
And our goal here is to really explore these anomalies, look at the details of what people saw, and, think about the questions they raise.
Questions about our world, maybe.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And maybe questions about what even counts as unidentified these days. It's a really curious mix we're about to unpack.
Okay, let's dive in then. First stop, the Bronx, New York. We got this really interesting piece of footage emailed in. Mrs. Everlyn Nunez sent it, called it Anomaly Going Down.
Right, and she spotted this object just sort of hanging there above the buildings first.
Yeah, and she had the presence of mind to grab her camera, which is great, so she starts filming.
And as she's filming, the object starts to descend.
But then something else appears. A helicopter. Described as blacked out, possibly military style.
And it really looks like it's tracking the object. That interaction is, well, it's hard to ignore.
It really is. That's the hook, isn't it?
It is, because the object seems to react. It changes its behavior right when the helicopter shows up. That's what makes this more than just, a light in the sky.
So what are we seeing? An unknown craft dodging a known one? Or something else?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? The object itself, she described it as a cone or triangular shaped, all black. And she mentioned it definitely had structure to it, not just a blob.
And the movement wasn't just down, it gets pretty dramatic. She said it dive bombs when the helicopter gets close, like a really rapid descent.
But then it does something unexpected.
Yeah, it levels out right above the buildings and then flies parallel to the streets before zipping out of sight.
And the footage quality, apparently, is pretty decent.
Yeah, relatively close up, not too shaky, which helps. And having the buildings there gives you that scale, that perspective. You don't always get that.
No, you often don't. That context is crucial.
So for you, what's the standout part of that Bronx video? The evasion.
Absolutely, that responsive behavior. Seeing something react intelligently, it seems, to another craft. That's significant.
Suggests intent.
Precisely. And the clear visual context, the structured movement leveling off, flying parallel, it just makes simple explanations like a balloon or drone drifting seem less likely. It suggests a level of control.
Okay, so from the Bronx, let's head over to New Haven, Connecticut. Another strange thing in the sky, but this one got a lot of buzz online, partly because a meteorologist posted it.
Ah, right, the shooting star. That wasn't quite a shooting star.
Exactly. Sam Cannaro, WTNH Channel 8 News, he posted the video, titled it something like, "Caught on camera, was it a shooting star?"
And it does, initially, look a bit like one, streaking through the sky.
It does, but the viewers jumped all over it.
Because it didn't behave like one. People pointed out that it seemed to curve, change directions.
Yeah, comments like, "Shooting stars don't swerve like that, that's no shooting star." And another one, really specific, "It goes from one angle shooting down and then starts shooting upwards."
Which is, fundamentally, not what meteors do. They burn up on a generally straight or slightly curved path due to gravity and atmosphere. They don't suddenly decide to go up.
Looking at the video, you can see it. It has this sort of tail, like a meteor might, but it definitely appears to, well, swerve or curve around, change its path.
And that's the key takeaway, isn't it? The difference between how it looks at first glance and how it actually behaves. It forces you to question that initial assumption.
Right. Is it just an odd meteor, or is something controlling it?
That discrepancy is where the critical thinking comes in.
Mm-hmm.
How quickly do we label something based on appearance versus its actual actions? The dynamic movement, that non-ballistic trajectory. It points towards something other than space debris.
And it's not just weird stuff happening at night. We've got daytime sightings, too. Stationary lights.
Yes, these daytime formations are quite interesting. Let's talk about West Palm Beach, Florida first.
Okay, this one comes from a Mr. Jeremy Smith. He was working on a rooftop, middle of the day.
And sees this formation of lights sitting in the sky.
Ugh.
Key details. Not moving, no sound. He described it as very eerie.
Yeah, silent and still in broad daylight. That's unsettling.
And the source mentions a pattern here. Apparently, these formations often show up in pairs.
Two lights.
Yeah, pairs of two seem common. But the next most common, a triangle.
Like Mr. Smith saw.
Exactly. There's an enhanced image, apparently, showing three distinct objects just sitting there.
And this isn't the only triangle sighting. We've got another one from St. Cloud, Minnesota.
Right, Brandon Hicks sent in an image. Again, a triangle formation of lights just hanging out in the distance.
And interestingly, there are police cars in the background of his photo, but it seem unrelated, just part of the normal scene.
Which maybe suggests the lights had been there a while or weren't causing immediate alarm. Just
So what do we make of these? Triangles of light, daytime, silent, stationary, seen in different places.
It's the consistency that's fascinating. The triangular shape, the lack of sound and movement, especially in daylight. It really challenges conventional explanations. Planes, helicopters, drones, they usually move, make noise.
Yeah, they always park in the sky silently.
So what are they? Why the triangle? Why are they static? These are the questions these sightings push us towards. It hints at a pattern that's hard to explain away easily.
Yeah, okay, let's hop across the pond. Geneva, Switzerland, home of CERN.
The Large Hadron Collider. Yep. Big science happening there.
And now a big, weird cloud. A photo shows this really strange ring-shaped cloud, apparently right over the CERN facility.
But it's not just a ring. The description is unusual.
Yeah, it says it has what look like little divots cutting through this thing and compares it to a chain or machine gears, like gear teeth around the ring.
Gear-shaped teeth on a cloud. That's not typical meteorology, is it?
Not that I'm aware of. And the source immediately connects it, or at least asks questions about connecting it, to CERN's experiments.
Understandable, given the location and the nature of the work there, smashing particles at incredible energies.
The source wonders if these experiments could cause weirdness, maybe even a mini black hole or a rip in the space-time continuum, or maybe open up a portal.
Those are definitely some.
Yeah.
Out there possibilities often discussed in relation to CERN, usually dismissed by mainstream science, but the visual here is striking.
And it mentions that strange weather has been noted over Switzerland since the experiments ramped up. Coincidence?
Or correlation? That's the question. The source also notes that scientists and officials tend to downplay these kinds of things.
So what is it? Just a weird cloud formation? Lenticular cloud, maybe? Or is it somehow masking something? Or is it genuinely some kind of atmospheric side effect of the LHC?
It's a fascinating confluence of factors. The unusual shape, the specific location over a high-energy physics lab, it invites speculation. Is it natural or is it linked? The gear teeth description alone makes you pause and wonder if we're seeing something more than just water vapor.
Puts a different spin on cloud watching.
Definitely.
All right, let's leave Earth's atmosphere entirely. We're going to Mars.
Bars. Okay. What do we got?
A viewer discovery. Dominic Cafaro, apparently he was just browsing Mars using an app on his phone, like a Google Earth for Mars.
Okay.
And he spots this near-perfect triangular-shaped crater.
A triangular crater on Mars.
That's what he found, and the source is pretty adamant, saying it's not a crater, it can't be. Something just tells me that this is not natural.
Well, impact craters are typically round due to the physics of the impact. Sometimes they can be modified by erosion or later events into irregular shapes, but a near-perfect triangle. That's highly unusual for a natural formation.
Right. The source mentions we know about some hexagon-shaped craters elsewhere, like on the moon, which are also a bit strange geologically.
But still potentially explainable through natural processes, fractures in the crust, things like that.
But a triangle. The source says maybe one other has been found on the moon, making this Martian one potentially the first known on Mars. And they provide coordinates, so you can go look it up yourself.
A perfect triangular cutout crater.
Yeah, that immediately makes you question natural origins. It brings up that fundamental question, what's the dividing line between a natural structure and something potentially artificial when we're looking at other worlds?
It really stands out. Like someone took a giant cookie cutter to the surface.
The geometric precision is what's so striking. In a landscape shaped by chaotic impacts and slow erosion, something like that naturally catches the eye and begs for an explanation beyond random chance. It's a planetary scale anomaly.
Okay, finally, let's come back to Earth and look at something that might muddy the waters for future unidentified sightings.
The human technology angle.
Exactly. We're talking about the flyboard air. Some people call it the Green Goblin glider.
Right. Frankie Zabata's invention. The independent hoverboard. Yeah, this thing is described as an independent propulsion hovercraft. It can apparently fly autonomously up to 10,000 feet.
And reach speeds over 90 miles per hour. That's
Yeah.
impressive capability for a personal device.
Totally. And the key difference from older water jet hoverboards is this one needs no hoses, no connection to a jet ski. It's completely self-contained.
Which makes it far more versatile and potentially far more easily mistaken for something else if seen unexpectedly.
It's still technically a prototype waiting for government approval, but there's apparently talk of public use because people are so fascinated by it.
But the source brings up another angle.
The military one. Yeah, speculation that there's a very good chance the government and military will snap this up for future battlefield use.
And that's really the crux of it, isn't it? How fast our own technology is moving. Something like the flyboard air. If you saw that zipping around 10, 20 years ago without any context.
You'd probably think UFO, right?
Almost certainly. It highlights how the definition of unidentified is constantly shifting. What's unknown today might be next year's classified military tech, or even eventually a consumer product.
So it adds a whole layer of complexity. Is that strange light or fast-moving objects something truly alien or unknown, or is it just us testing something new?
Exactly. The potential for military applications, possibly kept secret, means we have to be even more careful when evaluating sightings. Distinguishing the truly anomalous from advanced but terrestrial technology is becoming a bigger challenge.
Wow. Okay. That was quite a journey. From helicopters chasing triangles in the Bronx, swerving lights over Connecticut, weird daytime formations,
Strange clouds over CERN, geometric shapes on Mars.
and ending with human tech that looks like science fiction. It really does make you stop and think.
It really does. And it shows the value of people sharing what they see, these citizen observations. They highlight things that just don't fit neat boxes.
Consistent shapes, weird movements.
The sheer mystery of it all. It encourages us to stay curious, right? Keep asking those questions.
So, wrapping this all up, what's the big takeaway for you, for the listener?
Well, it brings up a really important question to chew on, I think. Look at how fast tech like that flyboard air is developing. And think about the very real possibility that military groups might be using similar, maybe even more advanced, things that we just don't know about publicly.
Things kept under wraps.
Exactly. So how many sightings tomorrow or next year that seem unidentified? How many might actually be advanced human craft? Stuff we just haven't been told about yet.
That definitely complicates things.
It does. And it makes you wonder, what does that imply about the really weird stuff? The sightings that can't be easily explained away, even by a potential secret tech. Where does our own cutting edge end, and where does the truly unknown, the truly anomalous, begin? That line is getting blurrier.
Something for you to think about. We hope this deep dive gave you some food for thought, maybe spark some curiosity. Thanks for joining us.